What's going on, Conscious Crew? It's your favorite breakdown commentator, CTV. Welcome to another riveting episode of the Consciouztv platform. You already know what you're here to get into. Before we do so, please go ahead and run me a old nasty piece of like. We need all of those likes. Likes help with the algorithm, but more importantly, they trigger up YouTube's notification system. So please thumbs up the video as you guys come in. Make sure that you have your notification bell set to all. Definitely subscribe if you are new here, and if you want to show some love and be a blessing to the cane, because we are here working daily and very consistently, guys, make sure to hit that Cash App $Consciouztv and or paypal.me/Consciouztv. All handles are in the description box below. So I wanted to come through and get into this conversation, girl, and give you guys this news about no other than the infamous sunburnt tight suit wearing attorney Tony Buzbee, who just can't seem to take the hint that the gig is completely up, and he's become a courtroom clown as well as a disgraced attorney in the court of public opinion. When we all first learned about him last year, the barely competent attorney came forward in a mid-year press conference joining prosecution against disgraced music mogul P. Diddy, who had been indicted and arrested on various charges of sex trafficking, prostitution, racketeering, and various other crimes. Everything started off so hopeful, with Tony claiming to be integral in only taking on the most vetted, verifiable cases concerning the 125 accusers he was personally representing in his firm, even opening up a 1-800 baby oil Diddy line that received over 3,000 hits just within the first 48 hours of its emergence. But it wasn't even 3 weeks out from that announcement that he went to filing various lawsuits on behalf of his clients in various districts of New York. And right there, we should have known something was very, very, very wrong, as just shy of a month is no time at all in properly vetting clients, for it requires obtaining background information, medical information, any police reports, collecting of footage, audio, text, phone records, various other forms of evidence, and even any witnesses viable to the cases. And considering he was representing over 125 accusers personally, some claiming their violations took place as far back as the mid-90s, there was no realistic way he could have been thoroughly vetting his clients. Sometimes it takes months to years to properly vet a client, especially concerning matters over a decade old, when having to go through communication, police, and medical agencies for documents that you don't get just overnight from these establishments. And just like a rush job, things were immediately off to a bad start, as many of the initial lawsuits he filed had to be dismissed without prejudice for various technical and filing errors, coupled with the fact that many of his clients were being slammed by judges for representing themselves as John and Jane Does, forcing them to either have to retract their lawsuits or represent themselves under their actual government names. Things got more grim for the thirsty attorney when he filed a lawsuit on behalf of a 37-year-old autistic woman who claimed that she was assaulted by P. Diddy in the year 2000 following the Video Music Awards at a P. Diddy after party. Soon after this filing, we got wind that Tony Buzbee had been sued for extortion by a John Doe that ended up being no other than Beyonce's husband, Jay-Z, who claimed that he was being shaken down by the attorney and blackmailed by the Buzbee firm to settle out of court for the grape case Buzbee was threatening to file against Jay-Z. In a shocking turn of events, Jay-Z instead sued the attorney, and the attorney retaliated by having Jane Doe amend her complaint against Diddy to also include Jay-Z as a co-conspirator who also raped Jane Doe after being assaulted by Diddy at the same after party. This led to a shitstorm of negative publicity around Jay-Z and a very intense public and courtroom showdown between Tony Buzbee's firm and Roc Nation's Alex Spiro, who immediately held press conferences debunking these claims with property records, pictures pointing out major inconsistencies in the accusers' allegations, and even getting witness statements from people Jane Doe claimed she spoke to at the after party who weren't even in the state of New York at all at the time of this self-imagined incident. Tony Buzbee found himself even further publicly humiliated, crashing and burning in the case when his client took to NBC to do an interview where the journalist also pointed out various inconsistencies in the plaintiff's story, even obtaining statements from Jane Doe's father, who stated that the event did not happen, for he never picked up his daughter from a gas station 5 hours away from home like she claimed, nor had he ever heard of any of this until she spoke with Buzbee. The accuser was forced to admit in a follow-up statement that she definitely had inconsistencies and guessed about certain aspects of her story against Diddy and Jay-Z, which forced Buzbee to admit to NBC that he also had not vetted the accuser's claim, aside from taking the word of another law firm who he claims vetted and recommended her to him, which don't even make any sense. The extraordinary and overwhelming evidence in support of both Diddy and Jay-Z's innocence, coupled with Jane Doe's admission of lying and Buzbee's confession of not vetting, resulted in a epic courtroom win for both music moguls after a 4-month-long litigation. Tony Buzbee also attracted lawsuits of his own. During the same months, he was chasing down Jay-Z for a check over fake, baseless claims. He was sued by several different people himself, alleging that they were represented by Buzbee in various matters, from divorces to workers' compensation cases, where his clients claimed to have been stolen from, financially taken advantage of, physically assaulted, and one ex-female client of Buzbee even sued him over giving her a venereal disease, as well as chipping her front tooth by pushing a wine glass into her mouth at a bar in a fit of jealousy. Well, just when you thought things couldn't get any worse for the desperate, reckless attorney, he was recently barred from practicing in the state of New York altogether, which was something Alex Spiro, Jay-Z's attorney, also pointed out in the great litigation. Check out this, courtesy of Baller Alert. Tony Buzbee, the controversial attorney known for filing high-profile lawsuits against figures like Jay-Z and Diddy, is no longer permitted to practice law in the Southern District of New York. This means Buzbee is barred from litigating cases in key areas, including New York City's 5 boroughs and surrounding counties like Bronx, Westchester, and Rockland. He has filed over a dozen lawsuits against Diddy in the area. Megan Cunneth reported that Buzbee's admission application to the district was denied after he failed to request permission before submitting it in January of this year. The oversight came to light amid his involvement in a lawsuit accusing Jay-Z and Diddy of sexual assault, prompting the Committee of Grievances for the Southern District of New York to take action. Buzbee is attempting to gain pro hac vice admission to continue litigating his cases against Diddy, though the process remains uncertain. Pro hac vice is a legal term that allows an attorney to represent a client in a jurisdiction where they are not licensed to practice law, provided they obtain special permission from the court for a specific case. Earlier this month, Buzbee voluntarily dismissed the sexual assault lawsuit against Diddy and Jay-Z, which accused them of raping a 13-year-old girl in the year 2000. Following the dismissal, Jay-Z and Roc Nation called the allegations frivolous and without merit, while Jay-Z revealed the emotional and financial toll the case had on him and his family. Tony Buzbee, ma'am, get away from me with this. Sir, you are despicable and should be barred from practicing law entirely. So shout out to the Bar Association for clocking that T and reprimanding this wrinkled-faced idiot. Lawyers like Tony, Gloria Allred, Lisa Bloom, Tyrone Blackburn, and Brian L. Ponda disgust me. People like this make it hard for real victims to get the help they need and are the type of public servants responsible for why innocent people are behind bars now, or either knotted up in lawsuits and had their lives destroyed because these type of attorneys prioritize clout and quick payouts over integrity and justice. There are theories that suggest that Tony Buzbee might be a P. Diddy informant used to file frivolous lawsuits against Diddy in order to compromise the jury pool by overwhelming the courts and public public with all these fake victims, which will aid Diddy in convincing the jury of his peers that people are either being insincere and lying for the sake of clout or money, or being disingenuous at best, which could result in a mistrial in the end. Could Tony Buzbee be a scheme that Diddy brought back to us for the sake of the bullshit? Or is he just an overzealous clout chaser in pursuit of an easy backdoor payout and capitalizing off the Diddy controversy to raise up his own social profile? Tony Buzbee, you're cooked, sir. Just tuck your tail and walk away in shame. If I were the father of the Jane Doe you convinced to file against Jay-Z and Diddy without as much as outsourcing for a single shred of evidence to support her foolishness, I'd sue the living shit out of you for exploiting my 37-year-old autistic daughter for a cash app, especially when you put her in a very dangerous situation as a member of an already vulnerable class. With Diddy being accused of unaliving people and rumors swarming that Jay-Z got bodies of his own, you put her in a situation that could have had her end up very hurt. And you put her in a situation where she could have ended up countersued. The only thing that spared her of a countersuit was the judge protecting her identity from Jay-Z because it was too early on in the case, which looked to always have been headed toward dismissal anyway. Your pigeon-nosed ass was willing to go as low as to exploit a mentally challenged person and make them double down on their trouble by amending their complaint to include Jay-Z, just so that you could get your lick back against him for filing a extortion lawsuit against you for even trying his head top, only for you to end up sued, dismissed, and now barred from practicing law in the state, which may lead to you having to drop all the lawsuits you filed on behalf of 100 folk in the district. And I love this for you. You deserve everything you're getting, and I hope Jay-Z take you for every bow tie and golf ball your bullet head ass deserves. Get his motherfucking ass, Jay-Z. Get his motherfucking ass. Get him! You guys tell me what you all think below about Tony Buzbee being barred from practicing law in the state of New York and possibly having to drop all of his P. Diddy accusers and clients. And what do you think about Tony Buzbee? You know, the attorney that so many other content creators were saying was so smart, was so intelligent. Oh, he got this up his sleeve, that up his sleeve. Oh, he's just outsmarting the system. Oh, he was this and he was that. But Tumbelina is just tumbling down the hill faster than Jack and Jill. Tell me what you all think. Make sure you guys thumbs up, subscribe, share. And if you enjoyed yourself and you appreciate the cane working, once again, hit that Cash App and or PayPal. I love you guys a long time, and I will see you all later. Peace.